guys, it's Ashley, your scrapping nerd, and I'm back today with a layout for Kit Conspiracy with MK and Janet. We're on week 1. And also I have a layout for my creative team for scrapasketch.com. And today I'll be using the weekly sketch here for inspiration. So the information for both will be below in the description box. And I have a kit share video for Kit Conspiracy that I will also link below so you can see all the items that I am pulling from the kit to make this layout. And so I'm going to start with plain white cardstock here because the layout has, or the sketch shows two, like a triangle. There's a top and a bottom, but I decided for the top I'm going to do mixed media. And so I'm going to start here with the Rustic Wilderness Distress Oxide. And you saw that I pulled out also Forest Moss, Walnut Stain, and Tea Dye. I wasn't really sure which ones I would use. And so I am inking the corner that it's going to end up being the top left corner of the layout, which is the inspiration from the weekly sketch. And so I wanted it to be very kind of cloudy. So I did circles when I was inking it. And then since it's Distress Oxide, I can spray it with water and pull up some of the ink. And I think that really makes it look more distressed, and it matches the 49 and Market papers that I'll be using. And it's the Nature Study from 49 and Market, as well as some other embellishments that I pulled from my stash. And again, the kit share video is linked below, so make sure you check that out. But you know how much I love triangles, and so I drew a line diagonally, and then I cut along that line to get this bottom corner. And I just love this mushroom paper. It's very busy, so I thought this was a good sketch to use a busy pattern paper because then it's not the whole entire page, it's just in the corner. And with my pictures and everything, it kind of helps tone down how busy it is, but you can still see the pattern. But I am going to use the Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous Mini Bouquet stamps here, and I wanted to have these kind of coming from behind the triangle part of the bottom right. And that was the worst way to explain that. But so you can see here I have it, I keep pulling it on and off, and I am using the Forest Moss, so it's a little bit of a darker green to ink these. And I just thought this looked really good, and it would pull kind of between that line and show that separation. And in the sketch there's kind of a circle, and I will mimic that with the stamps and some of the rub-ons from the collection around my photo. And so I just did a line across there, and you can see I turned them a little bit. I wanted it to kind of look a little random. I didn't want them all to be just straight up from behind the paper. And then I'm going to use this other stamp, and I started with the tea dye, and you'll see I'll do my test color behind where I'm going to put the paper. And I didn't like it. I thought it was too brown. I don't know. It wasn't dark enough. And so I tried the walnut stain, and I liked that better. And so I will stamp this. It's kind of like a little bit of sticks, more sticks with little buds on it. And so I stamped that, and I liked that. And then I did like the second generation stamp, and I liked that a little bit more. So you'll see I'll stamp and then stamp one up there. I'll do a couple that are the first generation, but I really liked the second generation. It kind of added to that distressed look, I thought. But that's kind of the stamping that I'm going to do along the diagonal. And so I'm going to distress my edge here and get that glued down so that I can start working on my photos. And these are photos. We went hiking in Sedona, and I just love them. The one on the right, the sun was shining through the monuments, or well, I don't know if they're monuments, like they're specific mountains. And so I really liked that. It's kind of blurry, but it's just a fun photo. And then I wanted to put both of them. But if you haven't been to Sedona, it's really, really pretty, and you should definitely go and do some hiking because it's beautiful scenery. It's almost like we're standing in front of a picture, not so much that we're actually out in real life. The Grand Canyon's like that too, where it just looks like a postcard. But I am allowed to use scraps with the Kit Conspiracy, so I pulled in some burlap scraps and then that dark green scrap to add some photo mats, and I distressed those, and I'm going to put them down here, and I stuck pretty close to the weekly sketch from Scrap-A-Sketch, and in terms of where the photo placement is, and then I'm going to do this kind of circular element around the photo, and I went back to the stamps, and I am just stamping kind of randomly again from behind the photo. When I was stamping earlier, I didn't know I was going to put my photos, so I stamped along that whole diagonal, even though now they're covered up behind the photos. But so I added that stamp to kind of go over the photo, and then I'm using the 49 Market rub-on leaves to also kind of mix in there. I thought that would add a nice kind of dimensional layer to have the stamped kind of, they're not really floral, they're, more foliage, and then the rub-ons from 49 Market. And 49 Market rub-ons are so good that the pigment stays with it, and so even though the foliage is green and I have it on top of the Rustic Wilderness ink, it still shows up really good, and it just adds that kind of other layer to the layout and behind the photo. And so you can see I cut a bunch of them off, and I'm just doing the little rub-on, and they give you this little tool with it, and I was testing it out. I used to, when I did rub-ons, use like a popsicle stick, and I still think the popsicle stick is my favorite. I used the tool that you get with it here, but I don't know that I'm a fan. It's just a hard plastic. I'm not sure. I think popsicle stick is the way to go. Because I put some water on the background, the top corner kind of curls up a little bit, but you won't notice that once it's inside the album. And so I pulled out a bunch of the Curator's Meadow 49 Market embellishments to kind of embellish this layout, and I wanted to have clusters in more of a diagonal, so I'm going to do a bottom right, and then I will put something in the top left, and then I'll have a little something in the top left of the second photo there. But I loved this little rabbit. I thought he was adorable, and then I'm getting this mushroom there. It was funny, when I first put the mushroom, I had to laugh because I had to put the mushroom up a little higher because it looked like it was coming from the rabbit's rear, and so I had to adjust my embellishment cluster a little bit, and I put another little mushrooms there to kind of separate this one large mushroom from the rabbit, so it didn't look like it was growing from his bum. And I put the saying down there is saying living the good life, and I will ink everything with the walnut stain. I just think that it will help kind of highlight the embellishments on top of the busy paper and all of that's going on in this layout. While I'm working through my embellishment clusters, make sure that you go to scrapasketch.com. Lisa has so many good sketches. We have weekly sketches. There's a Facebook page. You can join the premium membership and get amazing sketches, as well as if you use my discount code for Ashley10, you can get 10% off the stencils and the printables. She has just amazing stuff on her website, so make sure you check that out. There's also links to MK at Some Assemblage Require and Janet at Galaxy Girl Creations doing the Kit Conspiracy. This is their brainchild. They have shared a kit, and then you get to see how it gets used between different people, and they opened it up to everyone that wanted to join. And so you'll get to, if you go to the Facebook page, you can see how everyone uses the kit to make their layouts, and I think that's really fun because you'll see different styles and different ways of using the same elements. And so all that information is below as well. And I'm still working on these. Oh, I used a little rub-on up on the top just to kind of tie in the rub-ons that I have around the picture. And I love these little moths and butterflies, and I like to bend up their wings and only glue down their bodies, so it just adds a little dimension to the layout. I did put the rabbit, some of the tops of the mushrooms, and then the word on foam so that they're popped up a little bit. And up in the top corner, it says explore and discover. But I really like how this layout turned out. I was afraid it was going to be a little bit busy, but first of all, I don't mind my layouts to be packed with stuff, but you know, it's always a gamble when you use such a busy patterned paper of how it'll come out. But I think that it all evened out really well. And the sketch, like I said, was just perfect to use busy paper on half of the layout. Thank you to everyone that's liked and subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit those buttons below. And then if you want to be notified when I have a new video, hit the little bell notification. For the Kit Conspiracy for week 1, we are doing layouts Friday, Sundays, and Tuesdays. And then Wednesday is the kit share for the next week. And I will be playing along this week and next week because I had the 2 collections that they were using. But that's the layout. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.